Engineer Ghulam Mustafa.abro is an eminent scholar and an academician. Mr.abro has earned his ME degree in the area of modeling, control, and stabilization of an under-actuated hovercraft. In addition to this, he has also been awarded with gold medals for securing first position at undergrad as well as graduate levels by Hamdard and Sir Syed University respectively. Thank you very much, sir, for being here with us. The mic is all yours.
Okay, thank you so much for the lovely introduction. Let me share my screen first. I hope now the screen is visible to all of the participants.
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
So here I begin with the topic, introducing the topic is regarding the COVID-19 and the opportunities as a technopreneur. So as you all know that we have been crossing by a very critical situation all over the globe. That is this pandemic situation regarding this virus. So taking every situation as a difficulty and making the reasons that we will do our responsibilities and we will fill our goals by tomorrow, which is ultimately a procrastination. So I believe that COVID-19 is a curse for us, but yes, simultaneously it can be turned into opportunities. So over here, being an IEEE fellow, I was invited and very delighted to talk on this topic. Before that, I also want to let you know that I have also gone through the modeling and simulations of COVID-19 with the perspective of control engineering, as I'm a PhD student over here at Institute of Autonomous Systems at University Technology Petronas. So we have recently got our own publication also on COVID-19, the modeling of COVID-19 in Malaysia. So moving further, there is a small introduction regarding me. Apart from motivational speaker and motivating the youth and specifically my students, I was previously working as a junior lecturer at Hamdard University, Karachi, Pakistan. And afterwards, I just got a scholarship over here in University Technology Petronas to pursue my PhD in the area of control systems. So if you can see, my research interests are somehow related to the modeling and designing of control systems, and somehow Internet of actually it's not IoT, it's Internet of robotic things, and based on embedded systems. So IEEE and me have a very strong bonding. I have started 8 years ago when I was a student of third year, or maybe somewhere in second or third year in Hamdard University. So the faculty member at DHS Sufa University, senior lecturer Muhammad Awais, I am very humble that he has introduced me to you people. He was counselor at that moment over there, and I was just a student who was sitting in the auditorium listening people like me and knowing about the perks and advantages of IEEE. And suddenly a moment came that I joined IEEE as an ordinary volunteer, and then started focusing and socializing with the people. And till today I'm very satisfied that I have taken a very wonderful decision by joining one of the largest professional organization. So at this moment, when I came over here on 3rd January 2020. So ultimately, I mingled with all the IEEE people over here and joined also the SEC team over here. And Alhamdulillah, we have got so many wonderful events with us. Apart from that, we also got IEEE SEC and IEEE hide this site and this special interest group for humanitarian technology grant for COVID-19 also. So IEEE is doing very well, and specifically we region 10, all over the region 10, we are doing a very great job. So moving further, the topic that is today of my talk is COVID-19 and opportunities for a technopreneur. Being a student of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we all are belonging to somehow science, technology, engineering, and mathematics discipline. So how we opt for our career? If I think by placing myself at your positions, like the student of final year or student of third year perhaps, then we will think of, okay, we have certain stages. We have to clear our courses with good GPA. We have to inquire whether we are good at our technical skills or not. If not, then we have to gear up also in the technical domain also, so that we can opt for a good job. So this is our thinking at the third year or final year of our study of any engineering or science degree program. So let me just go through those feelings which we have during our final or third year of study in our universities. In nowadays, or it's the same feeling that we have or we had in our undergrad studies. So what are those feelings specifically? If you can see just this particular stage, being a student of engineering, science, and mathematics, we always fight with integral sign. We always fight with cos and sine and all these stuff. Even after clearing the calculus course, we think that we are now free from the calculus and all the things. But suddenly, in any of the subject, the problem is in front of us, and we have to do find area under the curve or whatever we are going to do, or integrate or something like that. So we cannot run away from the mathematics. So, and similarly, the people who are dealing with computer sciences, they cannot run away from the programming, or what we say, the data sciences type of things. You have to be and you must be excellent enough. So after just studying, the moment is in front of you when you just celebrate about your graduation, and then you suited yourself for the interview line, and afterward you appear for an interview. So there are a variety of experiences that you have been blazed with your teachers, your fellows, even by your senior fellows also, that okay, in interview certain conditions and certain questions are in front of you which you have never been taught in your theory class. So this why basically we have not been taught. Actually, we have been taught with the basic things, but to explore further with the baseline, we don't have that much culture. So in that particular area, we are lagging behind, and we face some sort of frustrations. If you can see this lady is very upset by just getting failures in interviews. So after that, maybe some of you get the job. So what next? You will be frustrated by daily routine. You will be getting paid for particular hours that you are in the organization. You are coming by 8 a.m. and you are going by 5 p.m. like this. You are dealing with so many files. You are dealing with programming. You are dealing with the same stuff, right? And you have been paid for a constant amount that you are getting every month. So what about the personal growth? What about the personal, the desires and the dreams that you have? So let's have a look on the personal, dreams of the graduate. First, we go for a job, then we start savings ultimately. This is the nature of a job. A person who is job oriented, what he will do, he will just search for a job first. Maybe, he will get a job in merely 3 months, or maybe he may wait. He may be waited for so long. But once he will get the job, what he will do, he will just start saving his amount to fulfill his goals. He maybe have a long, a big family to support. And apart from that, he might be thinking, okay, I should go for a car. And with the job, I personally think that if one is going for a car, he will not purchase BMW ultimately. I'm not a person that motivates you for doing very marvelous things. I'm just hoping that if I'm a son and if I'm having my degree in my hands, what my parents are demanding to me, they don't demand usually, but somehow you think that we have to pay back. We cannot pay back even for a single night to our mother, but still we should try. At least we can bring some joy and happiness into their lives. If I'm a son, I will think, okay, I will purchase a car that would not be so much luxurious, but yes, I would purchase a car that will pick and drop my mother, that will make my life of my family easy. I will purchase a home in which in the lawn, maybe on Sunday I may be reading a newspaper, and uh, what we say, having all the comforts of sweet home. But are you going to make an imagination for this in your mind in this particular era where the job employment is everywhere, it has been declined. And even after having acquiring the gold medal, as one of the compare, the host has read my bio. She said that I'm a gold medalist from Hamdard University and Sir Syed University. But still, I have been jobless. It's in about 1.5 years. So this is something that comes ultimately in everyone's life. So these are the dreams that we always think for. But how many people are there who can get these dreams within blink of eye? And are we on a right direction, that we are following the same conventional and trending line to get job, start savings, and then purchase a car and then home, and to facilitate our our home members, our family? Is this do you not think that it's a very conventional line? So if you are a different, and if you want things you know quickly, not quickly in the sense, but if you want yourself to be at a place where you are going to struggle very hard, and in return you have been paid what you have done, so that is something known as justice, right? And if you are utilizing your time from 9 to 5, and you are having a constant pay, I think that you deserve more than this. And if you think that you deserve more, it is not just like that you think this thing, but instead of this, you must have some guts, you must have some technical skills, you must have what we say, a way out, that okay, I can change my path from thousands of the people who are following the conventional path, right? So what is that path? Are you going to be an employee, or are you going to be an entrepreneur? Let me just quickly define what do you mean by technopreneur and entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is something that maybe any business, but technopreneur means you are a technical oriented mind, you are doing the things technically. Maybe you are equipped with engineering skills, and you are running that business. As I just provide you an example of NetSol, it's a very big, computing solution provider firm at the moment. So people are, very puzzled at this stage, at this particular, moment, that whether we have to go for being an employee or we should run our own business. So let me clear you the difference between the one employee and one person that is entrepreneur. or technopreneur. So the difference is quite what we say simple. The Ishanu Maji says that the difference between doing job and business is just simple. The first one who is doing job, he or she will wait for Friday, and the person who is doing business, or he or she is technopreneur, she will wait for Monday. A very big mindset difference. So just clarify the two sentences about first one and the second one. The first one will think that, okay, after certain months I will have a certain amount in my savings and I will go to purchase any car or any home or whatever the things. He will wait with the time. But what about the person who is technopreneur, or who is business oriented? What he will do? He will might be sitting with his friends, and ultimately a message arrived. Okay, you have this transaction in your bank account, and he will think, okay, the first assignment that was pending for a few weeks, I was very worried, so it has been executed by my some of my the employees. So this is the difference. But ultimately, after starting the business, or after starting any technopreneur what we say way, you will not ultimately reach at that position that you will be having transactions and the alerts on your mobile phone about the transaction. But it will definitely take time. I'm not showing you the very colored life, but yes, after doing some seeing some hardships, you will get the same thing that I'm basically conveying you right now. Because I'm a person that have witnessed these things, and some, maybe few of you also have witnessed these things. As before me, one of the speakers have you know initiated the what we say uh, mentioned the Bill Gates and Job Steve and these personalities. So what these people are, they followed a separate path, and they believe themselves that, okay, we can go through it and we can achieve it. So these are the difference. You can be many motivational speakers, and many speakers will teach you such differences. The difference is quite simple. If I just summarize this whole slide, these are the 6 differences, but just I summarize the all entire story of this slide in simple words. Is the first one, the person who is job oriented, he will work for a firm, and firm or consultancy or any organization will pay him whatever he is doing in a day or in a month. But for a business oriented guy, a person who is a technopreneur or who is an entrepreneur, he will do the things which are basically, he will run his own business. If he is going to spend a lot of time in his own activities, he will have more perks and more advantages. So the first one is serving for a company, and the second one is serving for himself. So and the choice is quite visible to everyone, that who is doing what. So I think that the topic of this is not so that I'm against of job. Obviously I was also doing job, and apart from that job I also initiated small business, and then I'm also focusing on that small particular business also. And that is obviously a technical oriented. My aim is to provide a consultancy to industry also. So if you are an engineer and you have certain skills, after doing 2 or 3 year job, you got those skills. You see that, okay, in organization or in any industry, we run the things like this. So you can go for a small consultancy where you provide the services to any industry, and you can start your the technopreneur business from that particular start, that movement. Similarly, I believe that every great work is starting or has been started or used to start from a single step. So, I have witnessed this thing, and if you see into all the companies' profile, the big company profiles, you will see that giving small business a big future. So they ultimately bring, big future. So this was all about, the business and the technopreneurs thing. And after that, I have already cleared the difference between entrepreneur and technopreneur. So I think that you must, go through this quotation that there is nothing permanent except change. So first, in my these slides, I just cleared you that what is the difference, what type of life you want to enjoy in your upcoming days after graduation. Are you going to do job, or you are going to perform some sort of technopreneur business? So if you are a person that admits the change, that accept the change and go with the flow, then you can accept COVID-19 also. It's a pandemic situation, happens, and every particular site, every corner of the world, talking about COVID-19. If you can see these particular screenshots, the job crisis, the people who rely on job, certainly uh, you know got terminations from their job, and they have already settled a very comfortable and luxurious lifestyle. A person who is earning 10 lakhs Pakistani currency, and suddenly by night, if he is or she is terminated, what would be the condition of his or her family? So it means that if you are going with a job, until unless it's a public sector, company or organization, if you're doing a private job or you are in private sector, then you can be, kicked out at any moment. There's no any guarantee for that. But if you are a person who is running his own show, then you can do lots of things. I have heard one of the news that people have opened a restaurant. I was very, I appreciated the cause that, okay, they are going for a business. But when I heard that all those four people are software engineers, some of them were computer, belonging to computer science domain. So I was worried that having a technical degree, they have the technical degree, they have the skill set, they know Java, they know various things, and still they are going for a restaurant. Why? They can open up their own business. They can open up starting the things from freelance platform. They can make various websites. Even they can make the web applications. So if you have not chosen the this path, I first, when I was invited for the podium at this moment, I had been thinking about the topic, that what topic I just go through, and what would be the thing that will match up on this particular platform of IEEE specifically. So I got this topic, that COVID-19 and opportunities for technopreneur for a reason. If you are not accustomed of doing any business, then let me just give you an idea that how you can go for it. If you are doing a job, after a job or in parallel with the job, you can do the things. So if someone asks me that how we can run two shows in parallel, so I must answer that you are a human and you have the capabilities. At this age, when you are tackling so many things in your surroundings, why don't you take care? Why you are underestimating yourself that you cannot tackle two things together? Maybe what will happen, you will sleep lately in the night. So are you not going to sleep lately nowadays? What will happen? You will be doing a very you will be crossing by a very hard routine. So why you are afraid of a hard routine? Ultimately, you know that one day you will get a very fruitful result. So if you have this mindset that, okay, after doing certain hardships, ultimately I will get the result and that would be really delicious, then why you are not going for these things? So I personally think that a person should, apart from job, just give time to his or her own dreams also. So COVID-19, I personally take COVID-19 as an opportunity, because it is well said that in the middle of any difficulty there is always an opportunity. And this is not me who says this thing, it's he is Albert Einstein, a person, a model personality, a model role personality for every student who picks up physics or who picks up any science, technology, or engineering, mathematics subject. So this is another guy. You all know about this thing. He says that if you want to grow, find a good opportunity. Today, if you want to be a great company, think about what social problem you could solve. So now, again, now you don't have to think about social problem. Social problem is here. You have COVID-19. This is one of the biggest problems, and at least people will remember it for many years. So now what we as engineers, we as science students, mathematics students, what we are going to do, what we are going to perform the things. Okay, so we have so many opportunities in first world countries. Let's not squander them by focusing on obstacles, real or imaginary. You have many people. I must tell you one story of a guy. He was in a third year of engineering. His own uncle used to say him, criticize him, okay, leave engineering, what you will do, just open the shop and run the business. But he thought at that moment that if I will run the business now, and if it would be the shop of a mobile phone, then he will or she will not never grow up. But after achieving a technical degree, he may focus on several things which will be obviously more than that merely a shop of a mobile phones. So if he or she would be more demotivated at that moment, when blood relations are doing this thing, when your surrounding, your friends are discouraging yourself, this is the moment then when you just don't underestimate yourself. Try to speak within your heart that am I able to do certain things. Try to boost your self-esteem and don't think about those obstacles. I must say that till our death there would be the obstacles. So if you're afraid from obstacles, you will not boost yourself. You will be like, if you have heard about the word rat race. So what is rat race? Yeah, many of you people have certain seen in the movies. There is a wheel, and in the wheel a rat is running. So the rat thinks that, okay, somewhere I will get a turn and I will just pass by from this wheel. I will quit this running. But this is not so. He will remain over there until any external force is applied to that button and the wheel stops, and then he will just climb out from that wheel. So don't put yourself into that rat race. And for coming out from that rat race, you need technical skills. You need, and you are very lucky that you have been given the opportunities, like you have given the platform of IEEE. You have been studying in a very fine universities, and I believe that you will go and rethink about your decisions, about your abilities. Try to chart down all the your qualities on a paper, and then try to speak for it. Okay, now I have these certain qualities. Maybe I'm a good programmer, so I can go for something big. Maybe I can make an app, maybe, and that app may be beneficial for my society. So those opportunities are just coming in front of you. Number one, e-learning. In the era of COVID-19, let me just confirm, this screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Perfectly visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So specifically talking about Malaysia and Pakistan, we have e-learning already, but what I experience the difference in e-learning is that we engineering people, we science-oriented people cannot do our practicals right. Anyone who can just tell me that okay, from e-learning I can run the DC motor or induction motor. Anyone who has the e-learning platform by his or her university, and he can do certain lab work using e-learning platform. Anyone anyone who can just say that yes, we have e-learning platform and over there we have 3D DC motor, and we can go with the DC uh, thing. So just I went through the timing is very short. There is also another session. So just I want to introduce you another opportunity, that is this one. This is in India. They introduce a conceptual lab oriented engineering experience. So you can opt for it in in your country also, in Pakistan or in Malaysia. Similarly, this is the opportunity too. And for this, I have a very fine example. This is one of my batch fellows. He is from Pakistan, but currently he is in Polytechnical di Milano, Italy. And he has initiated, a very nice work with Mars Foundation. He don't only, does not only sell the mask, but he also provided for welfare. After that, we have certain applications like pharmacy app, we have fast food, we have grocery, even we have a trace. In today's era, you have e-learning applications, but that e-learning applications, you cannot trace the students, whether they are in their homes or whether they are in market or whether they are at anyone. So this utrace app will help to access their GPS location. So teacher will make sure that okay, the students are in their homes and they are attending the class carefully. Similarly, the application for give priority to your mental health. These are the certain applications that you go for. This is the opportunity 3. So these are the opportunities. Further opportunity 4, on this particular project I got a grant of IEEE, and this the platform is IEEE site and hack platform. So I got a grant for this particular project. Opportunity 6 is the robotics field in your hospitals, the UV radiation, the smart gates, and reusability of your mask and the hand gloves. And no doubt, if you are a university student, you can make a certain image processing station that will detect the mask and contactless temperature of a student. This is one of the other area in your aircrafts where you just provide UV irradiation to clear the aircraft. You can do it in your buses, you can do it in your trains. This is another opportunity. So now we have number of opportunities. Now how we are going to start? We have IEEE platform for that. You have IEEE Foundation, you have Apex, you have high IEEE. This is the grant that I got on COVID-19. So there are lots of grants, lots of platforms on IEEE. There is a need to explore those, platforms. Another is your HEC, Higher Education Commission Pakistan, which provides rapid research, rapid technology transfer grant, and now the Erasmus also initiated AI robotics versus COVID-19. So you can also go and pursue this thing also. There are various incubation centers within Pakistan that you can go and opt it, and I hope that these types of incubation centers are all over the world. So people who are from other countries, they can search out some incubation centers and present such ideas in front of them. So there's a last video. With this, I will just conclude my session. See this video carefully. This would be the motivation for thousands of people.
100 years ago, class of 1920 graduated into the end of a deadly pandemic. 50 years ago, class of 1970 graduated in the midst of Vietnam War. And nearly 20 years ago, the class of 2001 graduated just months before 9/11. There are notable examples like this. They had to overcome new challenges, and in all cases, they prevailed. The long arc of history tells us we have every reason to be hopeful. So, be hopeful. I grew up without much access to technology. We didn't get our first telephone till I was 10. I didn't have regular access to a computer until I came to America, graduate school. Under television, when we finally got one, only had one channel. So imagine how awestruck I am today to be speaking to you on a platform that has millions of channels. By contrast, you grew up with computers of all shapes and sizes. The ability to ask a computer anything, anywhere, the very thing I've spent my last decade working on, is not amazing to you. That's okay. It doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me hopeful. There are probably things about technology that frustrate you and make you impatient. Don't lose that impatience. It'll create the next technology revolution and enable you to build things my generation could never dream of. My father spent the equivalent of a year's salary on my plane ticket to the US so I could attend Stanford. It was my first time ever on a plane. But when I eventually landed in California, things weren't as I'd imagined. America was expensive. A phone call back home was more than $2 a minute. The backpack cost the same as my dad's monthly salary in India. For all the talk about the warm California beaches, that water was freezing cold. On top of all that, I missed my family, my friends, and my girlfriend, now my wife, back in India. The bright spot for me during this time was computing. For the first time in my life, I could use a computer whenever I wanted. It completely blew my mind. And at that same moment, the internet was literally being built all around me. The year I arrived at Stanford was the same year the browser mosaic was released, which would popularize the World Wide Web and the internet. The summer I left was the same summer that a graduate student named Sergey Brin met a prospective engineering student named Larry Page. These two moments would profoundly shape the rest of my life. But at the time, I didn't know. It took me a while to realize that the internet would be the single best way to make technology accessible to more people. As soon as I did, I changed course and decided to pursue my dreams at Google. Inspired by the wonder that the first browser created, I led the effort to launch one called Chrome in 2009 and drove the effort to help Google develop affordable laptops and phones. Believe me when I say I saw none of this coming when I first touched down in the state of California in 2017. The only thing that got me from there to here, other than luck, is a deep passion for technology and an open mind. So take the time to find the thing that excites you more than anything else in the world. Not the thing your parents want you to do, or the thing that all your friends are doing, or that society expects of you. I know you're getting a lot of advice today, so let me leave you with mine. Be open, be impatient, be hopeful. If you can do that, history will remember the class of 2020, not for what you lost, but for what you achieved. You have the chance to change everything.
So this was all about my session. So the summary thing is that if you are offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get on it. So even, in Chinese, crisis word is decomposed into two characters. One is danger and second is the represents opportunity. So this is how people are thinking about any pandemic and COVID-19 around the globe. And I appreciate if you start thinking about COVID-19 not a curse but a point of opportunity. So this is me, Ghulam Mustafa. These are my contact details, and apart from that, if you have any query, you can pursue me on these platforms. Thanking you.
Thank you very much, sir. The presentation was truly wonderful. It is really an honor for us that you could be here with us today. Thank you so much.